First baby on a podcast in the blue collar boardroom. Woo, woo.
Yeah.
Hey, the reason why people follow me is my passion, is my energy and confidence and forward movement. But that's also like why they're scared to speak up to me, why they're scared to say things. It's just tough, man.
I want to love people. I really want to serve our customers, and I really want people's lives to change within our organization, because if people's lives are changing, and we don't call ourselves a company anymore, it's a culture.
Roofing has always been a family business to me. It's a family affair. I can never forget the first time I was riding around with my dad, and he was a car salesman. He turned roofer, and my whole life changed. I love being outside. I love being in the truck. I love the jobs. I love the people on the jobs. I love the salesman in the office. And I got a roofing family inside the podcast room today. Look, these are some young hustlers. These guys right here are killing it in Dayton, Ohio. Scott Bauer Roofing, Brent Bauer, and his wife, Ashley, are here in the blue collar boardroom. In today's episode, they scaled to 7 million. They want to go to be the biggest, baddest roofing contractor in Ohio, in the Midwest. We're going to break down how they're going to get there, and we're going to hear about their story, what they've overcame. Brent, welcome to the blue collar boardroom, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. So, family business. Your dad was a roofer?
Yep. Dad was a roofer his whole life. 1974, he was 14 years old. Same thing as you. He's riding around with his dad, got on the roof, started doing install up until 99. And then in 99 started Scott Bauer Roofing, but it was just a one crew show they do like 2 roofs a week. Sometimes 3. Hailstorms would come through. He'd get some sub crews to do work. But yeah, he was just so passionate, driven. He'd wake up at 6, get home at 8. I never saw him when I was a kid, but he just loved his family. So he built the kind of the base of what we have. And then I came 3.5 years ago, and the rest is history. Yeah.
Rest is history. Ashley, how about you? Were you planning on being a roofer?
No, not at all. Actually, a big part of our story is we grew up watching our families work and get home late. So our trajectory was we were going to go to college. We thought, hey, everyone goes to college and then they get these jobs where they have this work-life balance and everything's great. You make great money. And I think that where it transitioned is after we got out of college and we saw that, wow, we're still working a ton for little pay and all this college debt. Like, how did our parents do what they're doing? And, still provide for their family, but make just as much money as we are spending years at college. So,
I mean, it was something that my mom told me. Go to college. Don't be your dad. Go be a doctor, a lawyer, an architect. Did they push you in that direction?
Not really. Not really. I always had freedom. So it wasn't very structured as a kid. Amazing parents. My dad just worked so much. So there wasn't a ton of structure. My mom had to put up with 4 kids at home. Everyone's running around. We were spoiled. My dad worked, bought us whatever we wanted. So created bad habits for us. But yeah, no.
Me too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it was just, I just chose to, but I played basketball.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't have went to college if I didn't play basketball. I got a full ride to play basketball.
Oh, nice.
And that's what took me.
You don't look like a basketball player, bro. You must have had some handles and a shot and a jump shot, dude.
It's quick, man. Yeah.
Nice. Quick. You got to be more than quick. If you've been enjoying this real roofing sales training, then you'll love our real roofing sales community. I want you to be a part of my door-to-door church. We have 3 calls a week. And this is in the past something that others have paid $60,000 for. And for my YouTube followers, I'm giving away an insane deal. 98% off. You're also going to get access to my entire library of training. My life's work has been teaching people how to sell roofs, make more money, make $1 million in roofing. You don't need startup capital. You don't need to be a business owner. You need to learn how to sell bigger roofs, sell retail roofs. And I'll show you exactly how to do it. We have a retail sales training call, an insurance and door-to-door call, and we'll teach you everything you need to know about getting into commercial sales. That's how you make $1 million in roofing. You hang around winners. And I want to invite you to hang around the top performers in the roofing industry. 3 times a week, we're live on Zoom. We're motivating each other every day in WhatsApp, and we're going to give you an app that you can compete against the nation's top performers and win prizes like Rolex watches. Click the link in the comments to be a part of the disruptive movement that me and Brad Lee are releasing on roofing. Real roofing is a movement. You are not like us. We're hardcore door to door, and we're raising the status for the blue collar entrepreneur. Click the link in the comments if you want to be a part of the movement. After competing in college basketball, getting your degree, what were you doing right after coming out of college?
Technical automation sales
Okay.
for a company called Keyence.
Okay. So it's like a white collar job?
Corporate, man.
Corporate.
Corporate. It was a Japanese company. I hated it. I would be in the office. I'm looking around like these people are not me. Like I'm built for so much bigger. I'm too passionate. Like I'm not meant to do this. And I would hear it's weird. My faith is very important to me. And it's not like I heard an audible voice, but there was something internally in my soul. I heard it multiple times while I'm in the office. This is not you. This is not you. This is not you. COVID hit, and they're just basically giving us busy work. We couldn't go to any manufacturing facilities because they're all shut down. I'm wrestling, man. I'm ready. Yeah. Best decision ever. I'm wrestling at this point. I hate my job. I was turning my computer on, moving the mouse, doing everything I could to make it look like I was working so I didn't get fired. Anyway, I called my dad. I'm like, dude, I know you run around crazy. You've always done it. Like, would you need some help? He's like, I don't know, man. I'm good. Like, he's so pessimistic, scared. He took care of his family, man, this whole life. Like, gave his all to take care of his family. So in the winters, he would see his bank account get real tight. And he's like, in his mind, when I said it, he's like, how can I make sure he's taken care of? Like, I don't have the funds to make sure he's taken care of.
Were you asking in winter too?
It was just out of winter. No, it was at the end, going into winter.
Yeah.
It was the end of, it was September. It was September, so he knew winter was coming up.
Yeah.
And I was begging him, like, dude, please, 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 please. I put together a plan. I still have the sheet, and I'll share it with you, send it to you. And it said, can't fussy, Bubby. I wrote on the sheet, I'll do the marketing. I'll make sure we get a brand out there. Make sure we get reviews, get a present. He didn't have a website. He didn't even have a website. He had 3.7 Google review with 7 reviews. And he was in business for 20 years.
Oh, man, that's
no
tough.
website, no
And
marketing.
it's a testament that people don't go up and leave good reviews. Like, out of their
exactly.
own like heart, good, hardworking guy. Your dad's doing the roofs. He's up there. He's making sure it gets done. What else can they ask for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yet, basically, for 20 years or however many that Google reviews are around, nobody would just go there to give them 5-star reviews because you don't ask.
Yeah.
But the only people that go are the people who got a complaint.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep. So that's what happened. I begged him. I was like, dude, I'll pay me $700 a week. He paid me $700 a week for the first month. Then I got out there and I just started killing it. I started selling because I had so much passion behind it. Because I
It's a family business.
Yeah, it was family business. I knew what it was like to be in corporate. I was captain corporate. In this, I'm like, dude, it's endless. I can make whatever I want. And this is something that it is our family.
Now, when you were starting selling, were you doing insurance? Were you doing retail? How were you selling?
Mostly retail
Uh-huh.
for the first year. Probably the first year I probably sold $1 million in retail alone.
And this is call-in leads.
No,
or
you know what?
How was it door knocks or leads or how did you get organic SEO or calls?
My first year, we did 2.1.
Oh, real?
So, and I would have sold 90% of that.
No kidding. That's
And
amazing.
I didn't even think about that. We did 2.1. Then we did 4 last year. That's when we had 3 sales guys. My brother, the guy that I was just telling you about that left our company to start his own. Another couple here and there selling, and then I sold a chunk of that. So that was 4.2, and then this year I didn't really sell.
That's how it all happened with me and my dad. Is my dad and his brother were partners, and they grew in a time where there wasn't a lot of storm chasers. They would go and it was easy.
Yeah.
And they made a lot of money.
Yeah.
My dad and my uncle had a huge falling out. It's like, it's family, like mixing family and business. Like it's always tough.
Yeah.
And, my whole life, it was my roofing company versus my uncle's roofing company.
Dude, crazy. Let me stop you. So our company started in 99. My dad's dad and brother. So
Same story?
My dad's dad,
Exactly.
my dad's uncle had a business. They started in 1950, I think, in Dayton.
Yeah.
1950, they were together for the first 15 years, I think. My dad's dad, so grandpa, did something stupid. And then the uncle basically kicked him out of the business. So my dad's dad started his own business. My dad started working for him, then went to work for his uncle, which was the original Bauer. So they call themselves the original Bauer, which is cool. They are. And then my dad.
Oh, they're still there.
Business, yeah.
So, but both of y'all are still like helping each other in the name?
Basically everybody passed in the Bauer family, and it kind of split, honestly.
Yeah.
When my dad's,
But people have more familiarity with your name now.
way more, and that they're falling off. They've, and not in a bad way. It's just they slowed down a lot in what they're doing. But my dad's uncle, when my dad started his own company, but my dad was a sub doing the install for 20 years for his uncle. Yeah. When he went and started his own thing in '99, they were at dinner. They saw each other at dinner one night. Yeah. And my dad's uncle looked at my dad, and this is his nephew. Yeah. And said, "You will never beat me." Yeah. And
there's a lot of those moments in my life. We some of the guys that work with my company used to work with my uncle, and we would steal each other's jobs, take the yard signs out. I'd show up at the parking lot, tell them to come out to the parking lot. Yeah. It was just like all kinds of ridiculous stuff. We work together now. It's like Hatfield and McCoy's. But I'll tell you what, man. How has that molded you as an entrepreneur? You know, what has that done to kind of make you be the best version of you?
Yeah, I mean, well, I saw how hard my dad worked. Mm-hmm. And when I came over, I wanted to, I think, and we all wrestle with like why we are the way we are. It's psychology. It's deeper than what we think it is. It's way deeper. And I think it comes down to like my dad, he was working all the time, so he was never there. So I didn't have a much emotional attachment to my dad growing up. And I think it came down to like, I just wanted to prove, not that I was good enough, but I wanted to prove to my dad, like, dude, you work so hard. Look at me. I'm about to work hard too. Like, I want you to be proud of me. And it's not that he was a bad guy. He's amazing. I love him. He's the most loving, gentle dude. He cares so much for his family. But he just worked so much. It consumed his life. So it wasn't, the emotional attachment wasn't there. And I think that's what started it. So I started chasing success. I wanted to be so successful. I'm so competitive. I was a 5'8" point guard playing college basketball. It was a D2 level.
It doesn't matter, dog. I didn't make it to college basketball, and I played point guard. I hit a growth spurt in my junior and senior year, but dude, my whole life I was undersized as a point guard. It ain't no joke.
Yeah. So I put a chip on my shoulder. Yeah. So I've been obsessed with competition my entire life. Mm-hmm. I always felt like I have to outwork you. I have to outplay you today, and you will not play better than me today. Mm-hmm. Whoever was guarding me or I was guarding. Mm-hmm. That was my whole mentality. So I took that into business inevitably because that's just how I'm wired. So I took it into business, and we've blown up a lot. I've had to learn. There's a lot I failed at. I lost good people, like we were just talking about, because of my temper and not understanding leadership and being too competitive and too intense and too passionate. But honestly,
there's no such thing. Yeah. You just got to control the emotion.
Exactly, 100%.
So you can be that you can have the temperament. There's no such thing as too much care. 100%. It's just I have the problem of basically just containing the beast.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
The beast you can unleash the beast, and it can get nasty.
That's what I'm learning right now. So Andy Elliott, he looked at me. I was with him 4 weeks ago, and he looked at me. He said, "The moment you let an emotional response occur, you lost." Mm-hmm. And that hit me, and I went back and promised my team, you wouldn't let me see an emotional response. Well, a week ago, 3 excuses came back to back to back for something so simple that the ball got dropped, and I let my emotions get the best of me. And so I had to go back, step back in.
Bro, I got text messages this morning from my mom. I'm running the call, and I swear this goes like this. My mom sits on the call. She's a counselor, and like my dad's not as involved as he used to be, but so my mom is, and awesome. she's like my coach. But I'll be running a meeting and getting into one of those moments, and I'll be getting a text message. She says butter. She calls it pass the butter tone. So every time that I get like ridiculous, she's like, dude, you need to use pass the butter tone. Oh, that's cool. And then she sends it, culture is created in every convo. And I'm like,
oh my goodness.
All right, guys, we're going to have to, I mean.
That's beautiful.
It is, but it's just a reminder, and it shows that everyone needs a coach, like, especially like mom. I always, my whole life, mom. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But now, like, that getting everyone to work in alignment. The reason why people follow me is my passion, is my energy and confidence and forward movement. Mm-hmm. But that's also like why they're scared to speak up to me, why they're scared to say things, and why they keep things bottled up. And it's just tough, man. I mean, but you seem like an in shape guy. You got a team. Look, like what do you think, like fitness and being involved in your, like you were a competitive athlete.
Yep.
Like imagine if you didn't have any of that in your life now and were running business. Do you think things would be the same?
No.
Not at all?
Business has changed in the last 2 months. I started taking my health more seriously, working out every morning. Got a text. Can I grab my phone real quick and read a text? So we started working out every morning. You getting fussy, Bubby. So we started working out every morning. I did. And then everybody started to follow. And I think there's like 15 guys that go now that work out every morning. So it's extremely important to our culture now, taking your health seriously. Same concept as the Elliott group that Andy talks about. Is when you do that, there's a confidence that follows you. Your brain is thinking clearly, and you're just operating on a different wavelength when you self-develop and you go into every day to self-develop. I don't have to tell my employees to work hard or hold them accountable to work hard. When there's those who are self-developing are inevitably working harder than everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like magic. So I had a guy, he's 52. He's one of our ECs, we call them. They're our sales guys. And so I told him I was coming on the podcast. He's like, what should you say? Or I was like, they were like, what are you going to say? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to let God speak. It's just a podcast. I'm just going to talk from the heart. And he said, regardless of what you say, basically, or he said, speak from your heart about your vision, standards, and creating the culture that makes it all work synergistically. You are a very inspirational speaker. I mean, very, very. In a few short weeks, listen to this. He's 52, and he lives in a $750,000 house. So it's not like a 52-year-old that's
a loser.
Yeah, he's a winner.
He's a winner.
In a few short weeks, you have shown me how and why I can and will change not only mine, but my family's and countless others to come lives. A great leader that I strive to be like. Be yourself, and God will provide you with the wisdom you're looking for. Love you, bro.
It's awesome, bro. It's like what Andy's talking about. The world's starving for leadership. Starving for it. Everyone's starving for it. So the guys showing up in the gym behind you. I mean, now, bro, like the thing about it is it makes you be a sharper version of yourself.
Exactly. It forces
you to, bro. And that's the one thing that's leveled me up. Going in this personal development space, you have to think about it just like a vehicle that Andy and me and anyone else is pouring in, but it's just literally you and your responsibility to give it right back. And, kudos to investing into masterminds, being a part of this. There's a lot of roofers that won't set their ego aside and spend the money.
Yeah. 52.
50, 60,
how it costs
100,000
just to be in a group. Like, dude, you're losing already, man. Your mindset.
And more importantly, brother, you didn't have a plan to be here. There was an opportunity to come. We're going to do a tour of my office. We're going to get to know each other. I got a couple of other clients coming in, but immediately, how long ago did you hear about the opportunity?
You and I talked a week ago.
Okay, so this is honestly the biggest differentiator between like the people that are good and the great. The speed in which they seize opportunity.
And that's one of your guys' core values, speed.
It's one of my most important core values, brother. I don't screw around.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Andy hit us.
Timelines, speed, go.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is like, definitely there's times where you make mistakes. But you don't make mistakes if you learn from them, How do y'all balance family, kids? My kids are grown, but we have a new set of problems. We got baseball practices and workouts and all the different stuff. How do you balance family and being involved in the business? Yeah. This is for Ashley.
I think just this right here. I think whenever we decided we were going to have a child, we just said we weren't going to let him interrupt our life. We were just going to bring him along with us. And if that means like filling up this cup with water and setting up Miss Rachel on there, like that's what it takes. Yeah. Like if we want to continue to learn and continue to grow so that he does have, a great life and he can see parents that just work hard. I mean, these are the things that we have to do. And I think that it's just a big thing is like there's resources out there, and you got to know where to invest your money at.
Yeah.
And I think that beforehand we were like, we're never going to get a nanny or someone to help us.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, like, we use that to be able to help this young college girl. You know what I mean? To better her life if she's in college. She's making great money and she's able to.
My wife was the same way.
Yeah. And I think it's just seeing everything as an opportunity to help someone and also help yourself.
Yeah.
And if the conversations arise, like, wow, like, you know, you have a nanny, or like you have your baby at work, why don't you just go home and hang out with them and do all these things? It's like,
That's
no,
not us.
like, this is not us.
That's not us.
But honestly, the next generation, like the stay-at-home mom is kind of like not exactly our generation.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't, some people, you hear that's said, but then you also hear the other side, like, oh, I want to do more. I want to do this, or I want a passion, or I want to create. And you see a lot of women get on social media to create the stay-at-home mom life.
Yeah.
Because they want to do something.
Well, my wife is at home right now running the payroll call and going over books, and she runs the production huddle, and she's in and out of the office. But when she's in and out of the office, people are always asking her questions. So she operates from home. She takes the kids. She does what she has to do. And in reality, she ain't no stay-at-home mom. She's a boss lady, and she's just,
you couldn't do what you're doing without her.
No. 100%. And frankly, it takes sort of whether it's your wife or someone else, it's hard to find someone you can trust. Even when we talked about like brothers, like my dad was sort of the sales and marketing and management guy. My uncle was the operations, but you know, it's no one's got my back like my wife does.
Exactly.
And so when all these relationships are tested and everything is like literally like, you don't know who is really going to be down for you no matter what. You don't always have that person. You know, that's what I think is like an incredible gift people that, you know, work with their spouses have. Is those championship moments too. Like whenever, you know, things are tough, it sucks. But whenever, you know, like my daughter and my wife were speaking on stage, I was so proud of watching my daughter speak in front of everybody, and my wife and my mom, who all these women, my daughter being the biggest reason why I took a higher purpose. My mom taught me, and then my wife puts up with me, but she handles and cleans up all my, you know, she's the one who takes care of the business. So
same with Ash. She handles a lot of the books too. So she's at operations and production and stuff, but she handles a lot of the books. And whenever I'm talking, so you said your mom does the culture thing when you're talking. She said butter. I get this.
Oh yeah, I call mine the warden.
I get the eyes, bro.
I love to just watch. Like I love to watch. I love to be in it because I like to watch him interact with people and how they're responding to what he's saying, or because I mean, I believe in the message. I believe in the vision. I believe in where we're going, and I like to watch people and tell, like, do you really, or are you just saying that because you're talking to him? Like I like to be that person to see, like, are you real? Like, are you down for him? Like, do you really want to help yourself and help us all? Or are you someone who's just saying, you know, these things and wanting to just...
Well, they all tell you what you want to hear, dude.
Exactly.
Like, come on. You know, they're going to laugh at your jokes. Bro, and this is where growing up in my marriage of basically, I think that recruiting a sales team, like if you want to grow your business, you want to get to 20 million, 400,000 per sales rep, you need X amount of sales reps, 50 good sales reps. You're going to need 150 that get hired. So basically that's a lot of people through the system. The time that you spend basically attracting, getting the people onboarded, pouring into these teams, because you're like building a basketball program. You're not building a team.
It's a program.
Because you got the next layer of recruits. You've got, dude, here's the thing, they don't last forever. It's like a college program. The going pro means doing what your brother did. Sometimes it's a part of it, brother. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like the guy that I was talking about prior to, there was nothing I could do about eventually that happening. What happened, all I can do is try and maximize my time with him and give him the best place to go to the next step, and try and, you know, keep my side of the street clean and keep the relationship to where that person is an extension of me, and never burn a bridge. But, you know,
forgiveness, staying true to yourself.
This is the hard part though. Do y'all ever get like, he goes out with the sales team or with the office people or anything too much. When I was young in my marriage, I would be like, running around, doing everything with the sales guys, and my wife thinking, you don't give us enough attention. Even sometimes when I get so stuck in the work, it's almost like, what's more important?
Yeah.
Y'all ever have that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
I think a lot. I really resonated with what that guy said. He broke his production team, basically, when he grew. And I think there was a long period where he was spending a lot of time with the ECs, the exterior consultants is what we call them. They're our sales guys. But I think that he could have been allotting his time more in production and helping these new people grow and to help and to understand like the conflicts and what was going wrong. But he was spending a lot of time because he just hired all these sales guys. He's trying to teach them up. He's buying these sales trainings.
people in 4 months.
He's trying to do all these
So it's
things.
hard. It's hard when you're in sales mode to go from sales mode
To turn it off.
to production mode.
Yes.
It's like two different things.
Yes.
And so, there's a daily production call that my wife runs, and she runs that, and I don't run the sales call. I'm a passenger in it, and if I'm needed in the production call, but to be honest with you, I can do all the parts of the job.
Yeah.
I'm the best at recruiting, branding, marketing, sales.
Yeah.
So who, not how, finding the
I
who
love that. Yeah.
and put them in that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that's been really challenging is like, as everybody is in your company, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 things that you need. This is what my uncle told me. My uncle, legend, he said, all right, the only thing you need to do to grow your roofing business is more sales reps. Your average sales rep sells 400,000, do the math, subtract it backwards. You turn the good sales reps into leaders, but the hardest part of it is getting rid of the people that don't align with your core values.
Yeah.
So you got family. So one of the things that I do, like if you're unethical on your family, then you're not allowed at my office.
100%.
And something Andy said before.
Yeah.
And-
You're cheating, you're fired.
And essentially, that honestly, the first time or second or fourth time that happened, I didn't do anything about it. It's the other work that goes along with it when things start to pile up.
Mm-hmm.
If you tolerate these people around in your organization, it just brings the whole thing down.
Yeah.
And so it then becomes the hardest deal when someone's not transparent, when they don't care about craftsmanship. Like one of the guys were trying to collect a customer from money from a customer, threatened to beat him up because they didn't pay. Now, dude, I don't care what you need, what they need. Like, you got to go.
Yeah, you got to get out of here. Yeah. This is our brand. It's our
But the hardest part can be when somebody's a top producer.
Yep.
Very much so. Yeah.
And then they're not aligned with your core values. Have y'all had to deal with that?
Yep. 100%. Yeah, I think everybody right now we're buying in within the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a huge culture shift in our company.
But sometimes to make that, you got to get rid of a top producer.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Or they leave.
But either way,
they don't like the change of positive culture.
Either way, it had to happen.
Amen, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I look at that. I told you before, $40 million that could have been under my business.
Yeah.
But that was never meant to be.
Yep.
And I can't be doing imaginary things like that.
Nope.
God didn't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So what's the plan for this year? What do you think?
Man, I want to. Everyone talks about revenue, money, going from here to here, going from here to here. That's great. That's amazing. I love it. I'm all about that. My shift within the last 2 months, honestly, I can say this clear conscience before God. I want to love people. I really want to serve our customers, and I really want people's lives to change within our organization, because if people's lives are changing, and we don't call ourselves a company anymore, it's a culture. So when people's lives are changing within our culture, I don't have to go recruit as long as the camera's in front of us. Their lives are changing. They're seeing people's lives change. They're telling any and everybody about it. Dude, we have no issue hiring people. None. Never have. Because the culture and the family that we have, people are attracted to it, like you said, like a magnet.
And I was telling you, brother, like documenting sales on the roofs, damage on the roofs, adjusters on the roofs, because it's such good content. And because it's different, and if you're doing like entrepreneur business sales content, most people are in podcast studios, different environments. If you look at Andy's content, it's different because he's always speaking to a live audience. He's doing real role playing in front of real people, and he's giving real advice. He's not talking to the camera. It kind of catching him in action, and it's framing up something that makes it interesting to watch. Well, even more interesting is out there reacting with real customers, with real things. And, you know, I would say like these meta glasses I've been using, dude, you would be surprised.
I need those because that's the one thing I wrote it in my phone when you were talking earlier on the call. When I go home, I'm going straight to the camera. We have 2 videographers. I'm getting them. They're going to follow me. I'm like, just follow me for the next 2 months and take this and put it out and let's edit it together.
Yeah.
And so that was a big takeaway from that call. I was like, I'm going to go get in front of the camera.
If you look at Andy's short form stuff, a lot of it all has a value, but still a call to action. DM if you want to level up. It basically is great content, shocks, hooks, adds value with a list story or some sort of a lesson. And there usually is some sort of a call to action. Dude, short form is everything. So if you can put it on Instagram, you can put it on Facebook, you can put it on YouTube, you can put it on TikTok. And the idea is whoever's consuming your content, man, retargeting them with ads. And basically putting together organic content that works with paid advertisements for a retail guy like you, bro. It's that's the difference between basically what I do, what I do is honestly partnering with roofing companies, acquiring roofing companies, scaling roofing companies. My goal is to create 20 partners where our company's worth $1 billion and I create 100 multimillionaires along the way. But this idea that I'm going to give away all this game that I've spent millions, that I've spent all this time, even today, dude, I got people coming, it's hours. I'm like shutting down the day just to do this tour stuff. It is this contribution to a mission. And
it's just not a direct return.
No. People ask me, why do you do it? Because my roofing company makes a lot more money. The answer is it wouldn't be anything without the attention. If you cannot recruit, hire, train, retain, if you don't have a big network, then you have a low net worth. So essentially, it all began, the company went from good to great when I saw social media as a way to shake more hands. And then 8 years of hard work. You look at what is easy now, but it's actually getting in the rooms. Dude, I don't like, it hurts. Desiree and I had an argument this morning about the freaking, I told her about the party. I was like, well, we're going to a party. It's 20 grand.
Oh,
she's like, Mom, you got 90,000 on these houses and blah, 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 blah. Oh, woo, and I won.
Are you talking about Keaton's?
Oh, yeah. I got it this morning because of that, bro. I got it.
But it's actually 24 with the VIP experience.
Okay.
Yeah, you just told her 20, so she's here in 24.
All right, yeah.
Got you in trouble.
But
it's worth it. It's worth it.
I mean, I know it's worth it, but the reality is like, it's not always easy paying the bill. It's not. I mean, dude, I paid 200 grand to Grant Cardone, 60, 70 grand to Russell Brunson, 100 grand plus to Ed and Andy, 50 to Andy. I don't know how many digital marketers I paid. I don't know how much money I paid in other people. It's been $1 million over a period of 8 years. The reason why I'm a good coach is because I got coaches.
Exactly. You invested in yourself.
I wouldn't be as good if I didn't have that much to give. I was a door-to-door guy that could teach you insurance, that didn't have I was a skinny fat dad bod, wasn't in good shape. I didn't have a spiritual connection. I wasn't able to market online. I didn't know how to do direct response marketing. I didn't have, bro, the whole, like, everything came from personal development.
100%.
And so even now, my wife knows that the money is always worth it. But she's like,
she's got blindsided.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Similar.
Yeah.
The other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the plane here.
Oh, I was
Exactly.
actually on the plane here. Yeah.
Now, so this is where we get into the real conversation. The
Yeah.
real conversation is, how is it different? So for me, if I'm talking to her about Keaton's, okay, for me, if me and you are going to Keaton's, I'm thinking about how do you make the most of it. So this is a conversation. It's a networking event that you pay 20 grand to go to. You bring your wife. How is that even valuable?
Yep.
Well, for one, right, as your brand grows, you want to get your first 100,000 followers. The best way to get it is collaboration. So every single person there that, you know, when you pay Andy, I'm sure if you just follow up enough, he's going to give you a chance to collaborate with you and create content.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the same thing goes across the board. Of course, just getting the chance to create content with some of these people isn't worth it. Or is it? Of course, you talk to all these people. Some of these people might have contacts back in Ohio. Hell, you might find realtors, like every time I go to these places, I find whether it's a real estate broker or an insurance agent or a developer or a general contractor, these type guys,
Yeah.
when you meet them at this party and they happen to have a roof in Ohio,
They want to do business with you.
don't even have to sell nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
You don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
You just have to go without selling, talk to people, share what you do, hear what they do, and then will present itself. God will present itself.
Your story with Grant.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the epitome of what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, so like I get a hard time about that. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't, just from one person. Okay. Cause everything I do gets picked apart like
Who's
it's
that
some
one
joke.
person?
We won't name names. But the reality is like, I didn't make that much on the job.
Yeah.
I got a supplement. I got 1.3 million. I probably made like less than 30% profit. I spent 200 grand in coaching. So if you look at the total profit,
Yeah.
basically I only made about what I spent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what did I get?
Way more. The following.
No, forget the following.
Yeah.
I ended up hiring as digital marketer. We've been working ever since.
Yeah.
I've been running split testing ads ever since. I became the best advertiser in the space. I invested into apartment complexes with his ex asset partner. I've done deals, multiple deals with those people.
That's cool.
All the people I ever meet in my entire life, like the idea that this is documented, it's literally, you know, it's there. Like
Yeah,
anytime that you
100%.
talk to somebody and they know Andy,
Mm-hmm.
you are tight with Andy, and so that immediately is going to lead to
Yep.
the next level, which could be get in my truck, let's go sell roofs.
Just happened. Dude's hired. Same thing happened. I went to sell them. This is crazy. Last week I went to their house. I wanted to handle the lead because he sold us an HVAC system at our office. And so they called us out to look at their roof. I was about to sell them a whole home transformation. They told me they had 65 to 70 budgeted for it. I was going to get them up to 80 or 90 and justify it, maybe 100, right? And I'm sitting there, and they were talking about how displeased he was with his job and the culture of that company. He's like, dude, I show people these Andy Elliott videos, and they're like, he's too intense, but that's where I'm at in life. I just want to be great. He read Grant Cardone's main selling book like 3 times. I forget what it's called.
10X, good to great, sell or be sold. Sell or be sold's a good
Sell
one.
or be sold,
That's a
probably.
good one. It's probably the best
Sold
one.
it 3 times, or he read it 3 times. Anyway, he said, I'm just so unhappy there. Like, no one's matching where I'm at in my life. I want to change my life. I want to change my life. I was like, dude, like, you know Andy Elliott? He's like, yeah. I watch him on my
Just show
phone.
him a picture.
I'm like, I pulled up my text messages. I was texting him the night before. And I'm like, he's like pooped his pants. Anyway, dude is coming to work for us to sell. He has 5 years sales experience.
Yeah.
At a point where he wants to change his life. He's committed to coming to the gym every morning with me, getting there at 5. And his wife was happy that he's getting home at 7 because he's been getting home at 8:30.
Now, it may take a while for that guy to sell $1 million, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's the next one or the next one. But as soon as he does, what if he sells $1 million for you 3 years?
Yeah.
Then the 50,000 off of one human being,
Yeah.
you're making 120,000 a year, 100
Yeah.
off of potentially this investment.
Yep.
Exactly.
And what I did with him, so when I was sitting there, I could have sold him. I said, I'm not letting you guys buy anything because I want you to change your life.
You're going to give him the commission on his own job?
I said, dude, I don't want to sell you anything. You're not allowed to do this project. If you have to do the roof, you can do the roof. Come work for us. I want you to see what this is about. And that's the moment. That is the moment that it hit me when I went back that night and thought about it. I'm like, we make good profit on our jobs. 55, 60% profit on our jobs. I was going to do the math, say it's 100,000, I would have made 60 grand. Not paying a commission, I would have made 60 grand. Company would have made 60 grand. And I turned that down because that guy was at a point in his life to change his life. And that was the moment where it hit me like, this is so much more fulfilling than money. Mm-hmm. Money's going to follow.
Absolutely, brother. And the one way that, you know, all these personal development guys, you know, they focus on coaching. Coaching is the hardest thing to get a fast return on investment because you have to change, then you have to implement the changes, then you have to get the results from the changes.
Yep.
So in my group, if we implement a marketing system and you get jobs from it, then the coaching is paid for by the marketing.
Yep.
If you get a recruit from the next Andy Elliott event, just like you got that last guy, then all of a sudden the recruiting is going to pay for the free coaching that you got.
Yep.
And so like doing these deals over the years, what I've learned is how to Trojan horse. That's what I did to Grant. And a Trojan horse is where you buy something, right, to get something back.
Yep.
And, you know, the idea is like, okay,
I just did that with the fitness plan.
Exactly, brother. So I mean, for me, if I'm going to get in with a group and I'm you, here's what I want. I want to tell my story from the platform and stage. And that's what I'm going to Keaton's house for.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get on his stage.
Yep.
And every other stage there, that is the YouTube channel of Cody Sanchez. I'm probably going to join her group.
Yeah.
Just so I could build friendship with her. My mom is into her content a lot and she's really cool.
Yeah.
She has a lot of good YouTube content. I want to collaborate with her and teach her about the roofing industry. But basically, you know, there's all these different influencers. Pace Morby, I'm doing a roof to real estate guy. He's one of my buddies in the thing about it is there are these clients, there's these people where all of your ideal people and clients live within their community. Yeah. And I don't know. Andy was one of those guys for me. Yeah. So investing into his group
100%.
was, you know, as much about, okay, if I can, I was thinking about Andy's investment, like, look at how well he's running a coaching business.
Yep.
Yeah.
My roofing business is doing good, but look at this coaching business. I need help in my coaching business.
Him as a leader, like have you like talked to him one-on-one?
Oh yeah.
Like he hit me with fire in like 20 minutes as a leader. And that was the moment. It's like, all right, dude, 50? All right, cool. Here it is. Because if I can learn for a year, I'm going to be in it forever. But what I'll learn in a month, 2 months with you is going to return my investment for the rest of my life because I'm going to learn true leadership, true love towards my people, true culture building, branding. That, dude, it's inevitable that it's going to return my investment.
Amen, brother. Well, guys, this has been an incredible little family conversation here. Your baby was really good. Yeah. You did awesome. First baby on a podcast in the Blue Collar Boardroom. Woo, woo. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, so for anybody watching this that wants to connect with you, maybe they're in Ohio, they want to work with you, how could they get in touch?
Cell phone number 937-422-7391. Instagram is Brent Bauer Official, BrentBauer Official. And then our company's name is Scott Bauer Roofing. So Scott Bauer Roofing on Instagram, scottbauerroofing.com. We're on all the platforms at Scott Bauer Roofing. So thank you. I appreciate it, man. This means a lot. It's my first one ever. And
nice.
Dude, I'm young. I'm just trying to soak up from leaders, from people who've done things and learn everything I possibly can so that I can go share it with my people.
Dude,
so that they can change their lives.
Be like this guy, man. He ran to the freaking opportunity. Mm-hmm. He ran into personal development. And even though, like, coming from a white collar background, growing up, your dad worked really hard. He ran into being a roofer. We may have dirty jobs, but we make clean money. Dude, and it's an awesome way to raise a family. Blue collar American dream. Yeah. So guys, if you enjoyed this, comment below, ask any questions you might subscribe. Till the next time. Appreciate you, brother.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Look, subscribe, get notifications, because we're coming every week with door-to-door videos, interviewing successful blue-collar millionaires, finding out exactly what they did, going from living paycheck to paycheck to making that golden paycheck, baby. There's a gold rush in roofing, and we're showing what it's like scaling our company to $1 billion, creating 100 multimillionaires along the way. Now, a lot of times we do silly things like roofer versus adjuster videos, door-to-door blitz videos where we get thrown off the front porch, but we do it for your viewing pleasure and to raise the status for the blue-collar entrepreneur. So look, subscribe, tell your friends. That's the cost of admission. I want to help you sell your first million, scale to 10 million, and then maybe be a part of our $1 billion plan. Look, subscribe, get notifications so you don't miss anything that happens right here on this epic roofing and contracting growth channel.